That's why I keep stressing and telling you, you better run out, baby. Yeah, to the left, to the left. I ain't messing with nothing. I ain't spending more than I have to. And I got mad because I got caught with something I shouldn't have got caught with. I gotta, that now. No, let's just go. Okay. So he says, you do what your father do. I do what I see my father do. Because you are of your father, and I am of my father. So people would say, everybody's a child of God. Can't be. Can't be. Literally can't be. So you mean to tell me, when I was out there doing all that stuff that I was doing a bunch of it, that I was a child of God? So that's why I try to tell y'all, when people be doing stuff and be saying that they fasting and they praying, but their lives still ain't, it's not measuring up. They missing meals is what they're doing. And they're fortifying themselves in their demonic affairs. That's what they're doing. They're literally becoming stronger in that evil that they're doing. Fasting causes strength to come to you, whether it's good or whether it's evil. Y'all know witches fast. Witches go on fast. Research. Because fasting strengthens you. See, fasting kills your flesh and it opens you to the spirit world. So if you fast and your spirit consists of God, then what you gonna get? You gonna get God's strength. But if you fast and your spirit consists of the devil, you get the devil's strength. So you're gonna become more stronger in what you are doing. And there is no way that you can say that you fasting and that you're praying to hear from God or to be connected to God and still be, I like to knock this over. Ain't no way you can do it. I need to be proved to me. I need to talk to these people. I want them to prove this to me. How can you do it? There's no way. You are defying everything that scripture says. Every law of nature, literally define it. How is it? You either are fasting to be strengthened in God, or you are fasting to be strengthened in your father, which is the devil. One of the two. So there is no way, and there is an illusion that's out here because people are quick to say that kind of, I'm just going to go on a fast. How you going to go in on a fast and you disobedient? What you fasting for? To be more disobedient? Because that's what's going to happen. That's the result that's going to come out of it. It says going to be more disobedience. That comes out of it. Because when you start fasting and you don't hear the voice of God, a voice of reason, and start talking to you about shifting some things about you, and a clarity doesn't come to you concerning what God is saying, then you are fasting for the wrong reason. You're either missing meals or you're either fortifying yourself in demonic forces. It's very important to do the right thing. And it's very important that y'all know the truth about this stuff. Because there's a lot of deception out here. I have heard it myself. All through the years of being with God, I have heard it. I've heard many people say, people that are not even saved or whatever, be talking about, hey, I fast. Well, okay, y'all do know that they got something called intermediate fasting. And that's not even people that are saved. That's just people that are doing this for their dieting purposes. I do some intermediate fasting for about 3 days, so I can lose some weight or what have you. But they don't realize that they're fortifying their flesh in something. Because fasting represents the dying of something. It's either you're going to be dying to your flesh or you're going to be living to the flesh. One of the two. Verse 39, they asked him, says, as Abraham is our father, Jesus said unto them, if you were Abraham's children, what did he tell them? Oh! Busted. Woo, can't you just imagine the Lord saying that to you? Definitely, if you were so like you supposed to be. Can't you just imagine the Lord checking you like, I got a drink on there. Well, definitely, if you were as saved as you say you is, then you wouldn't be doing what you're doing. I'm sorry, Lord. Verse 40, he says, but now you seek to kill me, a man that has told you the truth. Listen, hear me when I tell you. Folk don't like me because I tell them the truth. So help me God. I have come to realize that. Most of everybody that I look at that got a problem with me, somewhere they done had conversation with me, and I done spit the truth on them. And when I spit the truth on them, they took a dislike against me. They took a dislike. He said, you don't like me because I tell you the truth. I tell you the truth. That's why you got a problem. You don't like the fact that I told you the truth. I told you where you were. I told you what you were struggling with. I even told you what was going to happen if you did not fix it. Now, if you got good sense, you should celebrate that kind of person. Right. I want that kind of person in my life because you can keep me from busting my head. Because you see down the road. I'd rather for you to step to me and tell me, hey, come here, Pastor Lee. Hey, listen, it's a brick up there. You know what I'm saying? Watch that puddle. There's a pothole up there, real big one. Make sure you don't go through that. See, you just warned me or something. Versus me getting pissed off because of the fact of what you said to me. And I did not like what you said to me because that is right there an authority issue is what that is. And they had a form of godliness, but they denied the power. They wanted to be of the lineage of Abraham because Abraham was known of a natural man that they did not have any respect or regard for. But when Jesus showed up on the scene and started challenging them, they didn't want him. Now we still with Abraham. Because see, Abraham couldn't do nothing with him. Abraham's situation was just like Moses' situation, where they murmured and complained and disrespected. They couldn't do nothing. He couldn't do nothing with them. But when Jesus showed up on the scene, Jesus stood bold in what he believed. He did not sway off of what he was saying. It said, and the child grew and waxed in the spirit. So he did not allow them to move off of what he knew had been deposited into him. And because he didn't allow them, which you see me do, because she don't allow them to move her off of what she's know been deposited into there, I can't stand her. I don't like her. She too hard. She too this and that. Always be looking for something. I'm talking about be looking for something to try to get me on. Be looking. Trying to find something to get me on. So help me God. But so far, and I pray it continue to happen, it ain't a time I've said something to a joker that ain't walk out. Come back to me, tell me. Let me know how that worked for you. If I hit you with that right now, you best believe the ball rolling towards you. Let me know how that worked for you right now. Because I just tried to tell you. You wouldn't listen. I just tried to tell you because, see, I saw it. I was standing out there, Freddie's birthday today, too. And Freddie cut my yard yesterday, him and fella cut my yard. And we were standing out there talking. Fella was so tickled at me. Ooh, he was so tickled at me. He didn't know I was like, he saw me yesterday. And he was so tickled. Boy, he was there cracking his side. So tickled. And I said, see, this is why you have to get to know people for yourself, baby. You know what I'm saying? I'm just a clown at heart, for real. And Freddie told him, Freddie said, here she come. That's what he said. Here she come. And she finna start talking trash. So, we were standing out there, and we were talking, and I was just sharing some things, with them that the Lord, it was like the Lord was allowing me to be me, but yet be effective too in witnessing and saying some things to them. And Freddie said this. He called me boss. He said, boss, people don't look at stuff like that. Yeah, they don't look at stuff like that, boss. He said, man, I be paying attention to boss. Boss women, I said, man, they don't look down the road. I said, Fred, I look down the road. I don't care if you standing in my face. I'm looking all past your head. Cause I'm looking down the road. See, you said you selling me something right here, but what's gonna happen down the street? That's where I'm at. I'm down the road. You can make it look good to me all right here. And boy, when I tell you I get so caught up in what you selling, and it's so good to me right here, but don't realize you just sold me a lemon. I get down the road and it cut off. Say, so I'm down the road. I said, I weigh my options with things. I weigh my options. I don't get caught up in what I can celebrate today. I want to keep being able to celebrate it. That's just the truth. I don't. You can't get me with being able to celebrate it today, but I got to be doing a whole bunch of crying tomorrow. I'm going to still need to be able to celebrate it on years down the road. I still want to be able to say that that decision that I made was the best decision to make. I don't want to have to say it in a regret. To say I did that and I did it emotionally. And now I regret that I did it. Well, if you would take time and just chill out before you do certain things, you can do that. If you would live like Luke 14 says, I pushed it in here hard. If any man desire to build a tower, let that joker first sit down and count up the cost to make sure that he has enough to finish it. Lest what he started, he cannot finish, and the people, it says, will mock him. They'll laugh at him, it says, and say, this man started the build, but couldn't finish. It reminded me, for a season, the Lord sent me to live in Cottonwood, in a little house, isolated off on a road. It was another house beside it before you got to the little house I was in. Little 2-bedroom, 1-bath house. He sent me over there for a season of time, hid me over there in them people's house. And he has literally did some stuff for me in my life. But he hid me over there at 1731 Dyrus Road, Cottonwood, Alabama. He hid me over there for a season of time. Now, when you was driving to the little house that I was in, there was this big house on the right side. I'm talking about big house. Not no little house. Big house. But it was empty. And guess what? It wasn't finished. They had run out of money. And had got into a feud. And I'm talking about 5-bedroom bed. Run out of money and had started feud. I'm going to ask for Brika, is that house finished, if she know or not? Did they ever get it finished? It had been sitting for a few years then. It was not finished. See, if you count up that cost, pump your brakes, figure in what you need to figure in. Don't be so caught up in the moment of it. Because most of the time, when people are pushing something real hard, real heavy on you, it's usually something they trying to cover up. It's usually something they trying to cover up, and it'll get you. I ain't gonna call no name, but I'm gonna tell y'all what somebody did just recently, about a couple weeks ago. A young man had a car, right? He knew that car wasn't 100% like it needed to be there. He knew it, right? He put the car up for sale, right? Washed the car, cleaned it up real good, put the car up for sale, even left the system in the car. Cause you know, put the music in the car. Most black folk, they don't want nothing but the music. As soon as they get in the car, they listen to the engine. What is it? We got a system in it, baby. Well, what good is the system going to do sitting in your yard? And the car won't go nowhere. So he cleaned up the car. I cleaned it up real good. Yeah, that's a good God. I didn't know he could do all that. Cleaned up the car real good. Had the car back. Put the car up for sale, right? Sold the car. Ooh, he was moving quick to sell the car. He was moving so quick, he was neglecting some responsibilities he had because he was moving just that